Good morning, YouTube. My name is Bobby, and this is my perspective. Alright guys, let's talk about my 35-day juice fast. First off, I'm going to show you my transformation. From day 1 to day 20 approximately, I could take pictures under the same circumstances, so that was perfect. But then I started traveling, and therefore you will see a couple of pictures, a little bit of video footage here and there. It's not as linear, and of course the lighting is different, so excuse that as well. One more thing before I show you my transformation. I overate 3 weeks. It was all raw foods. It wasn't even deli gourmet raw foods. It was all fruits, couple of nuts here and there, and nut butters. But mostly fruits. I just overate on them to have a drastic transformation for you guys. And with this, I'm disproving as well that you cannot get fat on a fruit-based raw food diet. You absolutely can. If you eat more than you burn, you will gain fat. It's simple as that. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise, so you don't get shocked when you see the before pictures, because I look horrific. I got fat as fuck. 3 weeks I was eating at least 5,000 or 6,000 calories daily, and I achieved that in a 4 to 5 hours eating window as well. So I don't even know what would happen if I would eat for 20 hours. On a second thought, maybe I should do a 10,000 or even 15,000 calorie all fruits, all raw foods challenge. If you think this is something I should do, comment down below. I did this because I wanted to show that you will lose weight as well. It's not about losing weight per se, but it definitely works. If you want to get shredded in a short period of time, 10 days of juice will get you there. You don't have any fats, you don't have any proteins, so you just run through those carbohydrates and you keep burning them off. Just a short disclaimer so you know why I am so fat at the start of my juice fast and you're not wondering like what the fuck happened to you. This is exactly what happened. It was planned. I ate 3 weeks, way more than I needed, to show the most drastic results. That was my transformation. Now you're gonna see how I look like right now. It is 2 meals after the juice fast. So I had prunes and I had a couple of bananas for now. So not much change in terms of conditioning or whatever. So take a look how I look right now on day 37. Before I start talking about my juice fast experience, I would like to show you how I broke my fast. Right guys, day 35 of my juice fast, and I'm gonna break it tonight. It's not that I really want to break it, to be honest. If it comes down to me, I would go on for at least 40 days or even longer, but I'm headed to Peru tonight and therefore I have to break it now because I'm not gonna have any juice in the jungle. And now I have to check in, and you know it, you can't bring in any liquids. So therefore I have my prunes soaked in water. They soak for 24 hours by now at least. And now I'm gonna drink the water first, and I'm gonna sneak in my prunes with me so I can break my fast after the check-in. Right, here we are, the prunes soaked overnight.
So as I said, I'm just gonna drink the water first, and then I'm gonna eat my prunes after that. I hope I can sneak them in with a bottle though, because I don't want my bag to be filled with saggy prunes. But first off, as I said, let's have this drink. Cheers, guys. Oh, that's alright, not too sweet. Nothing too crazy yet. Let's see how I will feel when I start chewing, man. I haven't chewed anything in 35 days. I really forgot how to do that. Delicious. Guys, 6 hours later, I arrived in Peru, Lima, and I still didn't eat 35 days. This has become really something special, so I couldn't just break the fast like that, you know. I was checking in and it was quite stressful. We had to hurry up. No chance in hell that I would just gulp down on those prunes after 35 days of non-eating, so therefore I took my time. I had a little nap here in Lima, and I'm waiting for my next flight to Iquitos so the ayahuasca journey can finally begin. But anyways, now it's time to eat something. I really don't feel like breaking the fast, to be totally honest. Right now, to break the fast kind of feels like defeat. It just shows you how much we humans are animals of habit. So in the beginning you can't even imagine to go a day without food. Then a week becomes nothing, and after 35 days you're so used to not eating that it kind of feels weird to start eating. Here goes nothing. Hey, this feels so fucking weird, man. Wow, this is super weird. I'm not used to this at all anymore, man. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, Bobby? Why do you feed me with this shit? I just want a juice. But yeah, I'm weirded out right now. It's not like I've been missing this. It's really not like I've been missing chewing, eating, any human activity whatsoever. So it is absolutely fucking weird. I have to start eating at some point again, I guess. Alright, let's continue. Excuse my low energy levels. I couldn't sleep at all. Came back from Medellin, had the paraglide and all that stuff, so I'm still jet lagged somewhat. Yeah, people look at me weird. They're like, what the fuck is this guy doing, man? Sits on the floor here and eats prunes out of the bottle. What the fuck is wrong with this psycho? Yeah, as I said, guys, it feels absolutely strange. Now I'm getting kind of used to it again. It reminds me of how life used to be over a month ago, and yeah, I don't really enjoy it right now. It's not bad or anything, but it's not great either. So to be honest, if you have a very good fruit juice, freshly squeezed, fresh pressed, it is way more appealing than soaked prunes. So when I am in the Amazon jungle and I will gulp down on bananas and God knows what else they have, I'm pretty sure I will be more excited than today. So day 1 to day 3 are always horrible. So day 1 to day 3 you go into detox and your body tells you, dude, eat something, you're gonna starve to death. So therefore obviously you're hungry, you're weak, you're nauseous sometimes, and you just feel overall pretty much like shit. After day 3 it gets better though, so I would say that day 4 to day 7 I felt pretty good, just pretty normal. But then after day 7 you make that shift where you feel really, really energetic, or at least that happened to me. So day 7 to day 10 I started feeling more and more energetic, and day 10 I finally regained my old strength back, and
On top of that, I only lost 2 kilograms in that period of time. Day 10 to day 20, I have to be honest here, didn't feel like much. Just felt energetic, I felt alright, but not much better than with an all-fruit diet. So therefore I didn't feel any benefits anymore after day 10 to day 20. And I started doubting it. You know, I said, fuck this juice fast, who needs it, man? Why the fuck should I fast for 30 more days? I'm not detoxing. I had no bowel movements after day 17. So I started those enemas and nothing came out, just pure water. Sorry for the detail, but it wasn't even brownish or whatever, it just flushed through me, it was just pure water coming out of it. Before stopping it, I want to give another thing a shot, so I incorporated psyllium husks and bentonite clay. So I started drinking that and I gave it a shot for 3 days. Then I started having regular bowel movements again. But to be honest, I wasn't convinced because it could have been the fiber of the psyllium husks and the bentonite clay, because I don't think that you're gonna digest clay, so therefore it has to come out again. So therefore I wasn't too convinced. I said, alright, I'm just gonna keep on going with this. And then I started traveling. And yeah, you saw me traveling. If you haven't watched the video, check it out, my first travel vlog. I went through Colombia, beautiful fruits everywhere. And I said, fuck this, man, I'm gonna stick with it. I cannot end the juice fast on day 27 or something, doesn't sound right. I have to bang it out at least 30 days. So finally, on day 27 and day 28, day 29 as well, I got rid of some serpents. So I got rid of some serpents, if you want to call them that, or some mucus plaque. Either way, I got rid of some stuff. I would still say that a big chunk of it was psyllium husk and bentonite clay. Alright, it gets dirty now, so if you don't want to watch it, just skip ahead. Basically a mucus substance, a mucus-like substance. It wasn't alive or anything, it wasn't a real serpent, you've got to beware of that. It wasn't worms either, nothing on those lines. It was just very deep black, and the form of it was like a snake, if you will. But that has to be due to the intestine tract, so it was in there, therefore it took that shape. And after it was out, finally, then the treat, hello John Rhodes, the treat happened. I felt way more energetic. Out of a sudden, man, I had so much energy in the gym, it was crazy. Really, I felt back to normal again, I felt rejuvenated. So that really happened after that stuff came out. What it really was, I cannot tell you, and nope, sorry folks, I didn't take a picture. But that being said, I felt way more energetic and had much more strength, overall well-being again. Other than that, day 15 or so, till day 25, so 10 days approximately, I had this bread taste in my mouth. It felt like I was chewing on bread. Do you know when you take a piece of bread and you chew on it and it turns into sugars, it gets kind of sweet? Pretty much when you use it to diffuse something spicy. And I noticed that my breath waves, do you call it that? I really don't know, excuse my English. They're stuck on a constant basis. Essentially it started when I was 10 years old or so, and I got punched a lot on the nose as well, but I always have some hard time breathing in through the nose. After this bread-like substance that I was gulping down all the time and spitting out, now I can breathe clearly again. So this had to be mucus as well. On day 31 then, out of a sudden my breath started to stink. I brushed my teeth, it didn't go away. My ex-girlfriend noticed as well. It was disgusting. I had this bad smelling breath coming out. So definitely another detox symptom. But can I tell you what it is exactly? I have no clue. I just can tell you that it happened. Now I'm going to talk about the spiritual aspect of fasting and how it affected me, if I felt more spiritual while doing it, so on and so forth. So I had some interesting things happening during the juice fast. For example, I had this moment of absolute clarity again. So it was my last day in Sydney, Australia, and I've been living there for over 2 years now, so it became home. On my last day, I did essentially the same things that I did on the first day. So I went to the Harbour Bridge, to the Opera House, to Bondi Beach. Spent the whole day by myself, just going through Sydney and reflecting upon my journey those 3 years that I've been traveling already and that I'm gonna leave Australia for good now. And I came down to Darling Harbour. I sat down and I watched the beautiful sunset. I was absolutely mesmerized by it, but there was still one voice in me telling me to move along, to get busy again. One voice was telling me, stay here, man. Like, it's fucking beautiful. Where the fuck would you go? And the other voice was telling me, nah, man, just take off, you know, keep busy. You have to pack your bags. You have to do this. You have to do that. Obviously, this was ego chatter as well. And I sat down. I calmed my mind. I acknowledged the ego. I didn't give it any power. So the ego got silenced eventually. I was completely in the now, just observing this beautiful sunned up. And then I got this epiphany. You don't have to go anywhere. It all happens in the now. And now the point why I'm telling you this story, because everybody knows that the power is in the now. If you've read Eckhart Tolle or what have you, that's no news. But the thing is, when I got this epiphany again, cleared up essentially, there is this guy walking into my peripheral vision, and I look at him, I shit you not. He's wearing a t-shirt, and the t-shirt says, nowhere, now, here. Call me superstitious or whatever, but for me that was the universe giving me a sign you're on the right track. So I wouldn't say that you necessarily need a juice fast to come to conclusions like this, but it can help. I'm not disqualifying the biophoton theory, not at all. That being said, I ate only raw foods prior to that already, so therefore if I stacked up on biophotons, they're already in here. I just don't want people to expect that if they drink juices for 30 days, they're gonna become Buddha or what have you. The juice fast can help, but it's just a tool. It is all about honest self-expression. I stated this in my previous video, why I went raw vegan. If you haven't seen it, check it out. So if you feel the urge for a juice fast, for fasting, try it. This tattoo says ED Vidi. It means go and see. And this has become my mantra. Just experience it for yourself. You watched my transformation. Sure, you could do it for weight loss. It definitely helped. I got pretty ripped. So I stated this in my previous video. It really isn't that much about the things that you do. It has to be an honest expression of yourself. So when you reach that state of mind, that state of consciousness, you will naturally do those things. There is no point in going to a butcher and telling him, hey bro, become vegan, it's way better for you. He cannot see that. He doesn't see the same things that you see at that given moment in time. So therefore, when somebody tells you about the juice fast, how amazing it is, how spiritually connected they feel, yes, it can work like that. But to be honest, in my personal experience, the juice fast was just an expression of myself yet again. If I don't feel like drinking juices for 30 days, then I'm not gonna do it. You have to have a certain amount of self-discipline for this. You want to make a 180, then yeah, sure, go for a juice fast and see what happens. But I can only share my own perspective. I can only share my own experience. And for me, there is not so much more to gain through those practices. It's rather that I am expressing myself, my current state of consciousness, with the things that I'm doing in that moment of time. And this is it for today's video. This basically sums up my experience with the 35 days of juice fasting. If you liked the video, as always, leave me a thumbs up. And as always, guys, much love and peace.